Hey folks, hello again. It's good to be back again, showing records. This is a batch of records that I got about a month ago, and been listening to them the last couple of weeks and really enjoyed them, so I thought I'd, as always, display them for you and see what you guys think. So we're going to start with Rush, the classic album Moving Pictures. Now, God knows I don't need this record again, or this album again, because I have it on so many formats, but I don't have it as a Japanese pressing with the OB strip. That's what was attractive here. And I have this thing where if I see Japanese pressings with the OB strip of records I really love from my past, I swoop them up because I know I'm not gonna see them again, and especially this one. So I was really happy to get this one. I can't tell you what Moving Pictures means to me, being a Rush fan, being a drummer, being a Neil Peart fan. I've bought, like I said, I've bought this album so many times on CD, cassette, now vinyl, surround sound DVD. I've bought this album quite a few times, but it's one of those albums that will always be my favorite. And I never get tired of it. Here's the album. It's on the Epic label. I've never seen this album on Epic before, so that was something different. But the mix on this album sounds real deep, bassy, and punchy. This mix has some bite to it. It really does sound good. And here's the original insert. In front of it is pictures of the band from the record, promotional pictures for the record, and then we have the lyrics, both written in English and Japanese, and just to give you an idea what that looks like, original insert. So I'm glad it came with that, because that kind of completes the set to me. And I love the OB strip on this, because it matches the band color, the album colors, I mean, of black and red and white. It looks really nice. And the back is, of course, a little advertisement for Permanent Waves, the record before Moving Pictures. So, like I said, the mix is really punchy. And that's what I like about it, because it suits well with this album. But, you know, the high end is definitely there. It has a crisp sound, but the bass is low and punchy, but with the crisp highs and mids. Really good sounding record. A really good sound. I mean, it's right up there with the remaster that came out about a year and a half or so ago. It sounds as good as that. So, I mean, I didn't actually do like a test and hear the two back to back after each other, but from my memories of the remaster, this is pretty close to it, if not equal to it. But it sounds great. Either way, it sounds great. And to have all these different pressings of Moving Pictures just on vinyl alone is really nice. So glad I picked that up. So Rush Moving Pictures, classic album. So nice to have the Japanese pressing. Okay. Two cuts from Merlin here, two albums from Merlin. The first one is Afraid of Sunlight. This is a UK reissue. So, reissue of the record, which came out, I think, in 2013 or 2012. I really don't remember the year of the reissue. There's the back cover art, which actually looks, I think, very nice. I really like the back cover art. Always have. Great album, this. This is a great album. Especially the title track, Afraid of Sunlight. Such a beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful song. And it comes with a 12-inch print of the front album cover art. So, nice, nice, nice. And of course the inside sleeve just has the lyrics printed on it and some credits. And there is the record. Custom label and all. Really cool, really cool. And of course there's the other side. This also is a really nice mix. Gorgeous mix. very equal to, you know, highs, mids, and lows sound very equal, and it sounds good on the stereo. It really does, and I'm really glad I bought this. I've had this on CD, but I've never had this on. This is the first time I ever owned it on vinyl, because I never seen it on vinyl before. So I feel really happy to have this in my Merlin collection now. The funny thing is, there's a deluxe box set coming out in, I believe, November of this album. So it kind of made no sense to get this record now when I'm most likely going to get the box set coming out in November, though I haven't put out a pre-order for it or anything. It is coming out. But when I saw this, and I actually found this in a record store, and I saw this in the shelf, and I was like, there's no way I can't take this home with me. So, and it's in great condition, absolutely great condition, excellent condition. And yeah, I snatched it up immediately. Knowing the box set's coming out, and knowing I most likely will get it later. Still wanted it, and still glad I have this, because, like I said, it's a great sounding album. And when the deluxe box comes out, that's going to be amazing, because I'm sure that will be remastered, and it'll even sound better than this, but this sounds great. Very good album. Can't wait for the box set to come out. That's going to be so cool. So, Merlin, Afraid of Sunlight. So glad to have that in my collection. And the next Merlin record is their album Fugazi. Again, another album that I already own. I own this on I own the UK pressing, original UK pressing, and I own it on a picture disc too. So I really didn't need this, right? Well, this is also a reissue, and it's a gatefold copy. My original copy did not have a gatefold. So, there we go. This is a reissue, I think, also from 2013 or 2012. I really can't remember the year. And like Afraid of Sunlight, it has a print of the album artwork. So, that's cool to have. Very cool to have. And here is the record with the custom labels. It has the artwork of the album covers on the label. So, none of my copies have that. So that was a cool thing to see. Like I said, this is a reissue from a few years back. And the mix is really good. It sounds like a brand new record. Brand new record. I'm glad I got this, because there is no deluxe box set of this album that I know of. Soon to be released. So it's nice to have. I'm really glad I have this copy. This is a real good copy of this album. This is an album, though I don't listen to it that much, I can't really say it's my favorite Merlin record, but I do love this record. Especially the song Assassin. Great song, Punch and Judy. Just to name a few. There's some good songs on this record. It's a really good album from Merlin. And I'm really happy to have this reissue, because it's done so well. And yeah, I always like the artwork on the cover. I like to just glance at it while the music's playing. Really interesting stuff to look at. The music's really good on this record. I love this album, and I'm so happy I have this nice copy to put in the Merlin collection. It is a really nice reissue, so happy I have it now. God, this is such a good edition. So two great editions from Merlin. The next up is a used record from the band Styx, Pieces of 8. This is a Canadian pressing, and what's great about the Canadian pressing is it is pressed on gold vinyl, or clear gold vinyl. So there we go. Pieces of 8 from Styx, and also great album. I think I like side number 2 more than I like side number 1, but I do love the whole record. One of my favorite albums from Styx, and of course we got the original insert as well. I have Grand Illusion that's also printed on gold vinyl, which is also a Canadian copy. So this is a good copy to go with that. So 2 Canadian pressings of 2 of my favorite Styx albums, and this album sounds great on the record player. I really like the old school mix on this. Such a cool album to listen to, and like I said, side 2 is probably my favorite. Just a good collection of songs, and I dig this album. Really cool. So I'm really glad to put that in the collection. Okay, the next 4 records, this is like the tribute section of the video, and it's from 4 records from artists who sadly are no longer with us, and it's hard to believe they're gone. The first one is Rick Ocasek. This is a Cars record, Candy-O, from the Cars. And I was surprised to hear of Rick Ocasek, or Kasich, I can't remember how you say his last name. I was sad to hear of his passing. I was actually in a record store when I found the news he passed away. I saw it. Some of my friends texted me on my phone that he was gone, that he had passed away. And minutes later, over the speakers in the record store I was in, they started playing the Cars music. And that's when you put one and one together, like, oh my God, it's real. He really passed away. I can't believe it. Kind of made it extra sad. This is a cool record from the Cars. My favorite one is their first album, but this is a good album too. It has the song Let's Go, which is one of my favorite songs from the band. And there's a good band photo there. Just credits there. And it's on the Elektra label. So, really nice copy of this album, so real happy to put in my collection. I wasn't a big fan of his solo work. I just liked what he did with the Cars. I remember he put out a solo album. I didn't like it at all, but I do like his work that he did with the Cars. They're one of my favorite bands growing up in the 80s, and yeah, he will be missed. He will be missed. Like I said, I was pretty shocked to hear the news that he passed away. Very sad, very sad. The next one, from an artist who's no longer with us, is Eddie Money. This is his album No Control. A real popular album in his catalog because it has the song Shaking and Think I'm in Love. Saw him in concert once here in Stockton, where I live. He came to our county fair and did an acoustic show. I found this on the radio when he passed away. The artist that visited our county fair the most was Eddie Money. He'd been here a total of like 8 or 9 times. I only saw him once. I didn't realize he came to our county fair that often. And they said history of our fair, he's the artist that came here the most. Eddie Money, about 8 or 9 times. There's the label. Columbia, nothing special. Good album. This is the first time I ever owned this album. I have his greatest hits on vinyl. So this is the first album of his I have on vinyl. And really loved what I heard on this record. The energy's really good on this album. One of my favorite artists from the 80s. He used to go on the David Letterman show a lot, and I used to love watching him on there. He always gave a good performance. And the one time I did see him live, he was really good. So it was a really good show. So sad to hear Eddie Money is no longer with us. Now, when this artist passed away, what was 2 years ago, I believe, or a year ago. Now I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago. It's Tom Petty. This is a bootleg of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's Only Rock and Roll. This is recorded where? At Paul's Mall in Boston, Massachusetts in 1979. Doesn't give an actual date. But as far as bootlegs go, this sounds really good. And it's just on a generic label. So there we go. But this bootleg sounds really good, and from 79, so it's early years of Tom Petty. But you got I Need to Know, Breakdown, American Girls on here. It is a really energetic performance too. They captured a really good performance here on this album, and the sound mixes, you got to turn it up a little bit, but it's actually mixed pretty decently. I think it's probably a soundboard recording or a really good audience recording. The record label is Excitable Record Works. I've never heard of that before, but American Pressing, really fun to listen to. I remember when the news came when he passed, I was in disbelief. I could not believe he was gone. And for months afterwards, I can't believe, like, we live in a world where Tom Petty's no longer alive. I'm having trouble even adjusting to that, but so glad I have another bootleg of his, but it's later in the last years of the Heartbreakers, so it's nice to get an early years recording, because that's real fun to listen to. Okay, the last of the tribute records, sadly, it's Prince. I know it's been a while since he's passed away, but I still miss the guy. This was the only album I was missing of his earlier records, is Prince For You, his first album. Never had a copy of this album before, and this kind of completes the early Prince records from the 70s and 80s. It's on the Warner Brothers label, so I won't take it out of the garbage bag here. I really love this album. I really wasn't that familiar with the songs on this record because I never owned it before. This is a good album. There's some funk jams on here that are really fun to listen to. A really good album. I realized that he wrote all the music and played all the instruments himself. Hard to believe, because it's a really good record, and I wish I had bought it sooner, because I really am enjoying spinning this. I've had a blast spinning this record, and man, is he missed. He is really missed. I very rarely use the word genius, but he was a musical genius. Hands down. No debate about it. Alright, let's get out of the dead and get back to the living. This is a band that's no longer together, but I like collecting their stuff. It's the Plimsolls, 0 Hour. No, I've had this record before. This is a French pressing. I had this record before. It was American pressing, but it didn't have the red writing on the cover. This was all done like in a dark grayish of a copy I have, especially in the back here where it says Plimsolls. There's a graffiti. On my copy, it's not red, it's dark gray. So I thought, well, I looked at the colors and noticed that immediately. It's like, this is a different pressing. I looked closer, and it was a French pressing of the album. And I thought, and it's on the Lolita label. Hopefully there's not too much glare from the light here. Really great sounding album. You don't really see this EP. It's an EP. There's only like 5 songs on it. And you don't really see it around that often. If you do see it, you see the American pressing. I was really surprised to find the French pressing in a record store, and immediately snatched it up just for the rarity of it. Because I do have this already. I don't say I listen to it all that often, though it is a good record. It's a fun listen from, I believe, 1980 or 79. Anyway, good album. And I'm very happy to put this into my Plimsolls collection, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to see a French copy of this album ever again. So glad I jumped on it. And speaking of rarity, look at this one. Also, I think a French pressing from the band Live, 4 songs, which is basically a 4-song EP. Which was released before their very first album, Operation Spirit, I believe. Or that was the name. I can't remember. It was before their very first album, and it contains the song Operation Spirit. Mental Jewelry, I think is what it was called. And yeah, this is a French pressing as well, and it's on green vinyl. If I can just get this record out. There we go. On green vinyl. Really nice looking record. Really cool sounding album too. The 4 songs on here: Operation Spirit, Good Pain, Heaven Wore a Shirt, and Negation. Really cool find. I'm a big fan of the band. Within their first couple albums, I really loved. Stopped listening to them after that, actually. But this was a cool find. I've never seen this before, so I was really surprised to see it, and was really happy to score it. It's just such an awesome find. You know, it's great to find things from a band you really love from their earlier years. So very nice. So Live, 4 songs EP, really good stuff. Let me show you just a couple of 45s here. This is from the band The Church, for their song Antenna, which was from their Starfish album. In fact, that's what the album cover looks like. I never saw this on a 45 before, so this was a big find for me. And it is on the Arista label. So there we go. Really nice, really nice. And I really love the song on Antenna. It's one of my favorite from the album, and so I was really, really excited to find that on a 45. That was a big find for me. And from Van Halen, Best of Both Worlds. Side A is the studio version, and side B is the live version of the song. I have this on a 12-inch single, but I never had this on a 7-inch single, so really glad to have that. So, and it's on the Warner Brothers label. I love the live version of this song. It's a really cool live version, taken from their live DVD from New Haven, I believe. So, really cool. I like this one. This is from the band The Pretenders, the song Kid. And I just love that cover. I basically bought it for the cover, even though I love the song. And the A-side is Kid, the B-side is Tattooed Love Boys. Yeah, pretty decent picture on the back too, but I really like the front cover. It's a really cool picture of the band. So yeah, I was interested in buying this just off of that. And here's the label, R&R. So really nice find. I love early Pretenders records and songs, so that made that find really cool. So glad I jumped on it. And we'll end with this one from ELO, Strange Magic. Back with the song New World Rising. Really cool to find this on a 45. Something you don't really see every day, and this is in pretty decent condition. And it's on the United Artists label, the real old school label. So that was a cool find there. So glad I got it. ELO was one of my favorite bands. I wish I had seen them live. They came to my area a few months back, and unfortunately I missed it. Kicking myself for that because I heard it was a great show. Alright, that's going to do it for this batch of records. I hope you guys enjoyed this. A good variety of stuff between rock and prog rock. It's fun when you can get that kind of a variety going. Anyway, that'll do it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me some messages and comments or whatever, so just so we can talk to each other. It's always fun talking to you guys. Alright, see you guys at the next video. Take care.